Am I the jerk for begging for an open relationship, only to lose the love of my life because of it? I'm 25 years old, and about 8 months ago, I asked my partner, who's 28, for an open relationship. The truth is, I got bored. Nothing was really wrong with him, but he just didn't excite me anymore. I begged him for this arrangement, and after a while, he agreed. But he also told me there was a catch. He said, if I catch feelings for someone else, I'm going to leave you for her. And that's exactly what happened. Now he's with another woman around his age, and he left me behind. And all I want is to have him back in my arms. He was the love of my life. So, am I the jerk? What can I do to win him back? Update number 1. It's been a week since I posted. Last Sunday, I was officially kicked out of his house. I miss him so much. It's been excruciating. I tried calling him, no answer. I saw him in public, and he pretended not to even know me. I went to our old place just to talk, but things got ugly. His new girlfriend hates me even though I barely know her. She tried to attack me, and when my ex turned his back, she actually pepper sprayed me. Now he's filing a restraining order on me. I don't get it. I didn't attack anyone. She's the one who sprayed me. How can I convince him he's dating the wrong person? Update number 2, December 31st, 2022. This will probably be my last update. The restraining order went through. I am now legally not allowed within 100 feet of my ex, Harry, or his girlfriend, Jess. I've decided to move back to Arizona and start fresh. They're happy, and I just want peace. For anyone my age or younger, please listen to me. Social media is not your friend. TikTok ruined my view of relationships and made me think an open relationship would solve boredom. It didn't. It destroyed what I had. I am still in therapy, and I'm trying to move forward. Update number 3, February 13th, 2025. It's been over 2 years. I've tried to stay offline, but my ex and his now wife still live in my head rent-free. I just can't let go. I wanted an open relationship, yes, but is it fair that he strung me along for 8 months only to replace me with a girl he met through me, and then marry her? She's living in my old home, with what should have been my husband, and he keeps renewing the restraining order against me. Every time it's about to expire, he files again. I don't know why he hates me this much, but here I am, 2 years later, still wondering, am I the jerk? Or was I just a fool for asking for something I couldn't handle? Am I the jerk for telling my wife why our daughter doesn't trust her? So for the last few years, me, 36, and my wife, 34, have had a very strained relationship due to the way my daughter and wife interact. It started when my daughter was 13. She came to her mother and confided her feelings about our family friend's son. My wife decided that this was too cute to share and told everyone during a family barbecue, including the boy. This embarrassed my daughter, and I told my wife to stop as this made our daughter upset, but my wife justified it at the time because they were just kids. I've always known my wife has a hard time keeping secrets, but I thought she would have at least tried since this was a touchy subject, especially for a growing teenager with her first real crush. After this incident, I started noticing things like this more, like my wife openly telling everyone our daughter's business. Admittedly, most of these incidents were unnoticed by me for years, because they were usually conversations between my wife and her friends, when I wasn't around, as she didn't like it when I interrupted girl time. However, I am noticing more now, like my wife telling everyone about my daughter's business, like texts, phone calls, and other secrets that she told her mom in the past when believing they wouldn't be told. As everything progressed, my daughter started getting closer to me more, and I became the default parent who deals with medical issues, school drama, and crushes, which has upset my wife because my daughter refuses to have girl talk with her anymore and is usually cold and doesn't like spending time with her. My wife decided to try and punish our daughter after finding out she got her first boyfriend and wasn't told. Our daughter is 16 now, and I don't feel like it's necessary to punish her for these things when she has made a conscious decision to protect her privacy. I know she still loves her mom, but I understand not sharing things she doesn't want to get spread or blown out of proportion. I came home to my wife yelling at our daughter and demanding her phone, her laptop, etc., all over this situation. Which it made me very angry because my daughter was in tears and she is still my little girl and doesn't deserve to be punished over something her own mother caused. I told my wife to leave her alone and that we would talk, but I also told her to give back the items which my wife refused on and started screaming at me in front of our daughter, something I don't like. I like to have calm conversations away from our daughter to prevent making her feel scared or uncomfortable. Eventually, after multiple attempts to calm her down so we could discuss this properly, she grabbed my arm and started digging her nails in my skin, and I had enough then. I started ranting about how she always told our daughter's business to people, and how basically the whole family and friends around us knew everything about our daughter's personal life and medical history. And then I told her it was her fault our daughter doesn't trust her anymore, which made my wife start crying, and she locked herself in the bedroom while I started comforting our daughter and went out to get her some dinner. But now I'm home and I'm getting some serious silent treatment from my wife, and I'm wondering if I could have possibly said something different. But I'm tired of her blaming our daughter every time she doesn't get told something. Edit. I have read many comments talking about my wife, and I am seriously taking this all in. I really don't want my daughter to think this is okay for her future husband to treat her this way. So I am requesting my wife attends therapy by herself before she can join me and my daughter in family therapy, because I am not putting my daughter in a situation where her mother will probably use the therapy sessions to punish her, which people have mentioned. If she refuses, I will look into separation, because I have realized my daughter needs her dad to keep her safe, and she won't be safe if her mother is acting this way and normalizing this behavior. I am scared for my future, honestly, but I am also hopeful that I can show my daughter she is loved and safe. I will be sending my daughter to stay with her aunt for the rest of the week while I have this conversation, because I am not taking any chances that she'll have to listen to an argument between me and my wife. Am I the jerk for ruining my work bully's career? I'm a 33 male, and today I got a phone call from a woman, let's call her Karen, who bullied me at my old workplace 10 years ago. Before I tell you about that call, here's some context. Back in 2015, I had just turned 23, graduated from university, and landed an acting management role for 12 months. I work in the family and community services field. My whole family works in this sector: housing, health, youth, child protection services, etc. But I wanted to make a name for myself without leaning on that. The site I was placed at was a mess. The KPIs were the worst in the state. I worked hard, made changes, leaned on my family for advice, and within 3 months I turned it around from worst in the state to top 20, and within 6 months we were in the top 5. My team was happier than they'd been in ages. But Karen, who had been in that role before me, started relentlessly bullying me. Every single day it got worse: snide comments, lies about me, even dragging my family into it. Eventually, she was telling me almost daily that I should unalive myself. I went to my director multiple times, but nothing happened. After 3 months, I went over her head. Still, the bullying got worse. After 6 months of this, I broke down completely. I had a full mental breakdown and ended up in a mental health unit for 2 weeks. That's when my mom, a director in a different district, found out. She went absolutely scorched earth. By the time she was done, both my director and her boss were terminated. Turns out my bully was cheating on her husband with my director, so the person I was complaining about knew what I was telling my boss. And Karen was not only fired, but also blacklisted across our field in our district and most surrounding ones. I didn't ask my family to intervene. It wasn't something I ever wanted to rely on, but they weren't going to let someone treat me that way. Fast forward 10 years. I still have the same phone number. Today, I get a call from an unknown number. It's Karen. As soon as she realized it was me on the other end of the call, she exploded. She accused me of destroying her life and career, said because of me she can't work in community services anymore, that her husband left her, and she's stuck working in fast food and driving Uber while living with her parents. She claimed she was recently turned down for another job because the director was my aunt. I didn't even know she had applied there. After the call, I spoke to my aunt. Turns out she recognized Karen's name, told her direct supervisor she couldn't be involved due to the past, and stepped away from the panel. But of course, everyone knew why she recused herself. Karen finished her rant by saying I ruined her life. All I could respond with was, actions have consequences, lose my number. Then I hung up. Here's the thing. Normally I'm a very empathetic person, but I can't feel sorry for someone who bullied me so badly that I ended up in a mental health unit after she told me to unalive myself daily. So, am I the jerk for not feeling bad that my bully's life turned out this way, and for basically telling her she got what she deserved when she called me? Am I the jerk for shutting down my brother's proposal at my baby shower and then sending him a bill? I'm 29 female, due in November with our first baby. We planned a small mixed baby shower at a local village hall. Some nibbles, silly games, a couple of speeches. Me and my husband paid for most of it. My mill chipped in for desserts. It wasn't anything mad, but it was our little celebration. A week before the shower, my brother, 26 male, texted asking if he could propose to his girlfriend during the party, because the whole family will be there. I told him no. I said I'd be thrilled to help plan something special literally any other day, but I really wanted to keep the shower about, the baby. He kicked off a bit and got my mom involved, who said it would be so lovely and 2 birds, 1 stone. I said no again and thought that was the end of it. On the day during the toasts, my mom calls my brother up to say a few words. He starts chatting about love and family, and I see him pat his pocket. He turns to his girlfriend and starts to go down on one knee. I stood up, walked over, took the mic, not yanking it, honest, and said, "Hey, we love you guys, but we're not doing this today. Let's please keep today focused on the baby. We'll help you celebrate properly soon, I promise. The room went dead quiet. His girlfriend looked mortified and legged it to the loo. My brother got angry, said I'd embarrassed him, and left. The rest of the shower was awkward. Afterwards, a few family members said I did the right thing and that proposals at other people's dues are tacky. Others said I should have just let it happen and not caused a scene. That night, the family group chat blew up. My mom said I was controlling and that she'd cleared a surprise moment with the venue, as if that's the point. I said I'd already told them both no and that consent matters for parties too. My brother said I ruined his big moment and that his girlfriend had planned to fly her sister over next month, so this was the only time everyone was together. I told him we would have all turned up for him whenever he asked. Right. Here's where I might be the jerk. The next morning, I sent my brother an itemized request to cover half of the hall hire and the extra drinks package, $220 total, since he tried to, in his words, make it our day too. I said if he wanted to use the party as his proposal venue, he could help pay for it. He hasn't paid, obviously, and now says I'm being petty and tight. I know sending a bill looks bad, but I was so hurt that he and my mum just ignored a boundary I'd clearly set. Since then, his girlfriend messaged me privately to apologize and said she had no idea he was planning to do it there. She also said she doesn't want their proposal tied to the memory of my baby shower anyway, which I totally get and was grateful for. I told her I was sorry for how awkward it was and would love to help them plan something nice later on. So, am I the jerk for taking the mic and shutting him down? And am I an extra arsehole for the invoice? I'm willing to hear I handled it badly, but I also feel like if I'd let it happen, the whole shower would have just become about their engagement and the baby would have been forgotten. If you were at a party and someone tried this, would you just let it happen or step in politely? What's a better way I could have handled it in the moment? I'm definitely willing to make up. I just don't want to set a precedent that my no doesn't actually mean anything. Told my brother he couldn't propose at my baby shower. He tried to do it anyway. I stopped it mid-kneel with a quick announcement. Families divided. I then sent him a $220 bill to cover half the party since he tried to hijack it. Am I the jerk for both the shutdown and the bill? Am I the jerk for taking my roommate's promotion and then not leaving when she kicked me out? I'm a 23-year-old woman, and earlier this year I moved in with a coworker who's 37, after I left an emotionally abusive relationship. At first, everything was fine. We had another roommate too, so it was 3 of us in a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom place. But then things got complicated. In May, I applied for a promotion at work. I went through the interview process, and guess what? I got the job. That's where everything went sideways. Suddenly, my 37-year-old roommate, let's call her Anna, stopped coming home for days at a time. At work, she and some of her friends started going cold on me. Around this time, I also discovered something shady. One day, while I was on shift as a supervisor, I caught Anna in the back office. She was clocked in, but she wasn't working. She was just scrolling on her phone. I knew this was already a known issue, so I did my duty and reported it to management. To my knowledge, she doesn't know it was me, but she might suspect. Not long after, Anna dropped a bombshell at home. She told me she was pretty pissed that I took her promotion. I was shocked. At first, I even felt guilty. But then I asked how her interview went. Her response? She never even applied. So how exactly did I steal her promotion if she didn't go for it? After that, things between us went cold. We avoided each other except for passing moments at work or at home. I kept things professional, even though she and her friend, who also reports to me, were making work tense. Then one day, HR pulled me in to address complaints against me. Anna refused mediation, but her friend agreed. Her friend's complaints were vague, things like not feeling supported, but she couldn't give a single concrete example. It felt like they were just ganging up on me. A few days later, I texted Anna asking if we could talk things through to make the living situation better. She refused again. Eventually, I tried again in person. I handed her rent money and asked how we could move forward. She looked me in the eye and said, "The only moving is going to be you moving out." I told her fine, I could be out in 7 to 10 days, but if I'm moving halfway through the month, I want half my rent back. That's when she lost it. She started yelling, saying I'd been a disrespectful roommate. Her examples? 1, I didn't double lock the back door a couple of times. 2, I didn't always close the toilet lid because her cats might drown. And I once grunted at her in the kitchen. I told her if I paid rent for July, I was staying until the end of July. She went absolutely livid. So here I am wondering, am I really the bad guy? Did I steal her promotion and act entitled by refusing to move out early without a refund? So what do you think? Did the OP do anything wrong here? Or is the roommate just projecting her frustrations from work into their home life? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Wild Am I the Jerk stories. All rights belong to the original author. This video is for narration entertainment purposes only.